Hello, and welcome to Soroptimist International Voices, where we give a global voice to women and girls. SI Voices is a space where women's stories and issues are heard as we celebrate 100 years of our remarkable organization. We will reveal and rediscover the history of our global movement while educating and informing on many of the key challenges affecting women and girls today.
My name is Sharon Fisher, and I'm president of Soroptimist International. And today we're going to talk about the intergenerational nature of women's rights, making sure there's a representation from all ages in the work that we do. And with me today, I have Ayushi Kundu coming to us from Calcutta, India. Ayushi is chairing our 2020-2021 International President's Appeal. It's her introduction to leadership in Soroptimist International, and I've had the pleasure of working with her for the last 2 years. Ayushi, could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your Soroptimist journey?
Hi, Sharon. Nice talking to you. I'm a lawyer, as you know, having specialized in the area of human rights. Right now, I am practicing as an advocate at the Calcutta High Court in India, and I am also a second generation Soroptimist. I grew up seeing my mother being very involved in this organization and was inspired by the work she did. I witnessed how she was able to unite her passion for social work with her leadership skills by taking on roles such as the national president of Soroptimism in India. This made me want to become like her, and I became a Soroptimist when I was just 22 years old, a little under 7 years ago. By becoming a Soroptimist, new doors of opportunities have opened up for me. From getting to make friends from across the world, attending CSW at the United Nations, working for causes I feel strongly for, and above all, having the chance to be mentored by the international president herself. Working with you as President's Appeal Coordinator has helped me cultivate my own leadership, advocacy, and organizational skills. I feel more confident as an individual now. There's so much that we have shared and exchanged over these years, and that has contributed towards metamorphosizing my views, ideas, and personality.
Yeah, we met a few years ago now in New York at the Commission on the Status of Women in the UN building. And you and your mother were there. And I remember that well because I enjoyed meeting you and how interested you were in getting involved. And as you've mentioned, we've worked closely together on my President's Appeal Road to Equality. You've been a really great member of the team, supporting me in projects, in writing reports, in really bringing the appeal to life and bringing the projects to life. It's just been great. And I've always strived to include different voices at the table from all different backgrounds and particularly all ages. Why do you think it's important to have intergenerational conversations when we're talking about gender equality?
So I don't remember if you remember this. There's one thing you told me months ago when I was still trying to grasp my role. And one evening, you simply told me that you have to make your own space at the table. Those words have stuck with me since, and I have never felt any age difference while working with you, just a difference in experience. That is what we need as young advocates. I believe that women experience different issues and different forms of discrimination at different points in their lives. For example, workplace rights, older women's rights, etc., etc. So we need all points of view to be advocated for. Young people these days are far more aware, educated, liberal, and so it is important that we too be given a voice so that we have a chance to advocate for our own future. I greatly admire how you have always respected my opinions and ideas, even if they were not what you were looking for. And that is what we want, not being dismissed of for being too young or our opinions not being given due respect. We may not have the finesse you are looking for, but that's exactly where advice and mentoring from older and more experienced people becomes essential.
Well, I've found that I can learn so much from working and collaborating with young people. I think we all have the same goal of human rights and gender equality, and it takes a long time to understand what is effective and what's not. And the younger, the better to start. Understanding the differences between generations is so important. It's key. The internet, computers, those are things that when I was a young Soroptimist really barely existed. But with the internet, advocacy and activism, young people are so much more informed than years ago. You learn faster, there's more opportunities to engage, we're much more global. And Ayushi, you've taken up some fantastic leadership opportunities. Can you tell us some more about what you're working on now and any of the challenges you've faced?
My first stint in leadership within SI began with my role as the SI President's Appeal Coordinator, like you mentioned before. And this has opened up endless opportunities for me. Working as the appeal coordinator exposed me to other organizations that we work along with and that share our mission and vision. This helped me understand what is partnership, which is SDG 17, more closely. And I felt that I could use this knowledge and learning beyond my role as appeal coordinator. And earlier this year, I applied for and won the elections for SIGBI Assistant Program Director for Partnerships. I currently also serve as the president elect of my club, SI Calcutta. And beyond Soroptimist, I am at present working as the co lead in drafting the position paper on youth advocacy by a team of young advocates for the UNESCO NGO Liaison Committee. It's not to say that I've never experienced any friction. I have felt like being brushed aside because I was too young and inexperienced to take up a leadership role. This made me dejected at times, but then I decided to turn things around by grasping any form of learning and experience that came my way and by proving my capabilities. Let's say that I haven't disappointed myself or too many others.
Thank you. Yes, for intergenerational programs, Soroptimist International is very, very engaged, particularly with girls and young women, in giving them a lift up, helping them through our projects around the world. Those projects are inspirational, transformative, and we as members love to do them. We love to help young girls get a start. We've got many, many projects that educate young girls as leaders. As you know, our project in Kenya, we just finished the Leadership Academy, where many young girls from around Kenya had the opportunity to spend a week at an event that taught them leadership skills and whatnot. It was, as you know, an amazing project. It was wonderful. What do you think still needs to be done for women and girls in the future, and how do we get there? I know we've got these programs. Is there more we can be doing?
There is a lot, simply a lot, that remains to be done and achieved for women and girls. New kinds of issues seem to be raising their ugly heads by the day. But I think step one for achieving anything is to acknowledge diversity and recognize that despite differences in age, culture, beliefs, etc., we are all working for the same goal. As I like to say it, we may traverse different paths, but we are all headed towards the same destination. Inclusivity among ourselves is quintessential, and as the old adage goes, united we stand, divided we fall.
Thank you, Ayushi. It's been such a pleasure talking with you today and such a pleasure working with you over the last few years. And I know you're going to do great things in the future. And I'm so excited that I was a part of it. I can hardly wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharon, for being my biggest mentor and in my Soroptimist journey.
Thank you for listening today. And please join us next time for SI Voices.
You've been listening to SI Voices, a podcast hosted by Soroptimist International. Follow us on social media for our latest news and updates at Soroptimist Global on Facebook and Instagram, and at Soroptitweet on Twitter. You can also check out our website, soroptimistinternational.org. Please join us next time on SI Voices.